Hey everybody, I'll tell you what we do on our days off? We go scouting, and today we're going to go out on Winnebago and see what the ice conditions are like, see if we can get on some pods of fish. Lightning Lance and his brother are already out there, so we're going to kind of fan out and try to cover some water. Going to take the snowmobile out, and I got the Vexilar, got my underwater camera, got all the things we need to try to figure out what's going on down underneath that ice. So hang on to your heinies. We got to start off somewhere. We're going to start off a little bit shallow this morning and see what happens. Then we're going to work our way out to the east into some deeper water. Again, just trying to find some pods of fish so we have something to guide on the next couple days. That's the thing about, when you're fishing expansive mud flats like we're doing, these fish move a lot. I tell you what, we spend about 10-15 minutes in the spot. We kind of fan out the three of us and then moving out. Typically when we make a move, we usually move about a quarter mile at a time. That way you can cover a lot of water, and that's the great part about having electronics nowadays, is that it really cuts down the fish finding time in half at least. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're on our fifth move here. Saw a couple walleyes, but we didn't see them until we dropped out to a little bit deeper water. But when we were in the inside, we were fishing like 11 to 12 feet of water. Unbelievable schools of perch, but most of them perch were in that, 4 to 5 inch range. So the future's looking pretty good on that. We moved out a little deeper. Lance right away caught a decent perch, about 12 inches. We marked a couple walleyes, so we're gonna just keep, and that is the big thing. Just keep moving out here. You don't need to drill a lot of holes real close together out here, because all you're fishing is expansive mud flats for the most part. You're not really working any structure that's on the bottom. I'm working some structure that's on top, like any place that there's some snowpack that's still there. Just darker areas, any place that's got a lot of shove ice, again, darker areas, dirtier water. Them are the key places that you want to, kind of like hone in on when you're out here fishing a big body of water like Lake Winnebago. You're always looking for dark spots, and dark spots are going to be where bait is holding, and obviously if you find the bait, you're going to find the game fish. And a lot of times this water is a little bit dirtier too, because what happens when it freezes, you get a lot of sediment and stuff like that gets blown in here, washes up, and you can see that. Now watch, I'll drill and you'll see the dirt particles in the ice. Like you'll see the dirt particles right here. See that? Yep. See it all through the specks. And that's what happens. Again, you try to find something that's got a little bit of stain to it. See all the dirt right here? That's really why we're fishing these shove areas like this. And a key thing to remember too is that a lot of times in this dirty water and this shove ice like this, that bait is going to hold up real tight in the water column. So you really got to watch your Vexilar and fish up high. Don't always think that your fish are going to be on the bottom of the water column. A lot of times these walleyes and the crappies will definitely hide, sometimes 2-3 feet underneath the ice. That's the big part about fishing a body of water like Winnebago. It's not a real deep lake. Most of the time we're fishing anywhere from 14 to 18 feet. You're not going to find much water any deeper than that out here unless you get up in front of one of the rivers. But definitely watch. I think people overlook the higher part of the water column. Again, it's a little bit tough when you're fishing, 2-3 feet, 4 feet underneath the ice, because you don't have a lot of cone there. Your Vexlar, you're not gonna, that fish has almost got to be right underneath you. But what you can do a lot of times is tip that transducer to the side, and that's gonna help you like see out a little bit farther. I learned that from my good friend Tommy Hicks up on Lake Superior. You know what? It really makes you, and he does that because he's dealing with a lot of current. Well, we do it here is we're dealing with a lot of shallow water, or the fish are up higher in the water column. Them are definitely great tips to think about when you're out on a great big body of water like this. You know, for the most part, it's not going to do you a lot of good to drill a hole here, go 10 feet, drill another hole 10 feet. When you're working these kind of areas, a lot of times when we make jumps, we're jumping in hundreds of yards, or, you know, in a quarter of a mile jumps. You got to remember, again, no structure. So it doesn't pay to drill a hole here and go 10 feet and drill another hole and then drill another hole. Because what happens is with these fish out here, they swing. And I mean by swing, they make big circles. Sometimes they're tighter circles, sometimes they're bigger circles. But they're constantly on the move. They're not, again, relating to really anything for structure on the bottom. It's the structure they're relating to is on top. So good tips. Hey, I'll tell you what, I did not catch a fish today, but really scouting's more about finding fish, finding pods of fish. Lance and his brother, they got a few perch this morning, but really finding a safe route out there and checking the ice and all that stuff has a lot to do with scouting. It's not always about catching fish, and most of the time when I'm scouting anyways, if I catch one or two fish out of a school, I'll just leave, usually put them back in there. It's all about, especially when you're guiding all the time, you're looking for fish for your clients, you're looking for a safe way to get out there and get back. It's just knowing your surroundings. So that's the big thing about being an ice guide.